Hello, my name is Matt Duker, and for my term paper I choose to do my topic on supplementing fermented feed for poultry diets. The poultry industry has been plagued with foodborne illnesses related to salmonella and E. coli, and with the rampant use of antibiotics and the fear of antibiotic resistance, poultry producers as well as livestock producers are looking for other alternatives for antibiotics. So the idea to supplement antimicrobials into their diets seems to be a possible alternative for the future. Benefits of supplementing these antimicrobials include infection resistance, overall health of the birds or the laying hens, egg quality, as well as quality of egg production. These antimicrobials are commonly referred to, as we know them as humans, as probiotics. But in the poultry and livestock and pork industry, they're known as direct feed microbials. Probiotics have been around for hundreds of years, but in this industry, they are it's a newly discovered science that is constantly in its works. Direct feed microbials started as they were initially supplemented to animals to stressed animals to administer beneficial microbes in hopes of preventing other harmful microorganisms from forming, as well as the idea that they would reestablish normal microflora amongst the animals. The most common direct feed microbials that are used today are live bacteria and yeast, the bacteria being lactobacillus. Well, there's a wide variety of species that are currently being used for probiotic preparations. Non-pathogenic bacillus species is the most studied and widely applied bacteria. There are exceptions. The two yogurt starting organisms, which is Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus, are also used. Even brewer's yeast, which is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, also used. The most common and widely accepted feeding practice is dry feeds, which are either given in a mash or pellet form. But what I found interesting through my research was that chickens more readily accept wet feed over dry feed. Okay. The application of direct feed microbials, the delivery method can vary from pastes to powders to capsules, with feed or water being the carrier. For my paper, I chose to focus on three specific benefits of supplementing direct feed microbials and fermented feed to chickens. The first being the benefit of a pathogenic barrier to specific foodborne illnesses. One of the studies showed that by supplementing direct feed microbials, the high number of lactic acid produced in the diet led to high concentrations of lactic and acetic acid and formed a low pH, which created a hostile environment to prevent those types of illnesses from forming. Illnesses such like salmonella, E. coli, Campylobacter. The second benefit I focused on was body weight. By supplementing direct feed microbials and fermented feed, studies showed bigger, more fuller birds, or what they called in the industry was a greater feed conversion ratio, where birds would, as I mentioned, eat more and stay fuller, and also at the end weigh more when it came to production. The other was egg quality and egg production. A study showed that chickens that were fed this feed had an increased weight of their eggs, as well as their shells were stiffer, stronger, and it enhanced the mineralization of the shells, which improves the availability of dietary calcium and phosphorus. Another benefit I touched on in my paper was the microflora activity of poultry, and the fact the success that direct feed microbials have had on their ability to alter gastrointestinal pH and flora, which in turn helps increase the activity of the intestinal enzymes and the digestibility of nutrients. So as I mentioned, the future of direct feed microbials and fermenting feed in the industry, especially in the commercial industry, is quite promising, though the research is still in its infancy, as a lot more studies need to be conducted on the potential benefits. But ultimately, direct feed microbials and fermented feed could take place of antibiotics, which is the biggest benefit. However, they're not without their controversy. Of course, there are worries about certain kinds of bacteria developing resistance, as well as the syntheticness of the creation of direct feed microbials. But as more consumers demand their products to be less processed and without antibiotics or without certain ingredients, I think the commercial industry is going to look for this as an alternative to please consumer demand. So thank you for your time.